Check 1 2 1 2.
It's like a mystery going through all this history, trying to deal with life while moving through this music industry. It's like the energy take control of us physically. Mind over matter, but the matter seems to be mentally. But yet we still be chasing rainbows visibly, looking for the gold at the end of the road endlessly. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how we make it from the bottom but still be going under. Had to call my homeboy Tweed to get some game, try to figure out the ways of the world and how we change. It's like we going through a phase in the maze, when it take us out the cell but still keep us in cages. We've been dealing with the same shit for ages, same lies told from these history book pages. Different names but the same faces, so in turn the same rainbows we keep chasing. Yeah.
Hey, yo, welcome to the show. Welcome, everyone. Let's talk about it. Welcome, everyone, to a new edition, all new episode of Let's Talk About It with me, your host, G-Lew, joined by my co-host, my homeboy, Big D, Keeping It Real. Big D Keeping It Real will be joining me, I guess, in 1 second. What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing out there? Hope everyone had a great Monday, start of a new week. Just another manic Monday, as Cyndi Lauper would say, right? Well, welcome everyone back to another week. If you're here with us, that means you made it. You're blessed, because everyone did not make it, man. So if you're one of the few that did make it, and you're here, you're blessed, you're healthy, everything's good, homie. Salute to you. You know what I mean? Be thankful. You know, that part. Shout out to our producer, DD Hairston. Shout out to our sponsors, Street Level Clothing, the G-Lew.com, and Spider Locomotive Easty, Baymac. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Let me do this right here. Okay. Yep. And shout out again. Shout out to my boy Big Silence. If you missed that interview I had with the homie, go back and check that out on his channel, West Coast We Active. Big Silence Shout out to my boy Incredible Javier. Travieso season in the can. Season finale was Friday. If you missed any of that, go back and check out all those episodes as well. And shout out to my boy Cholo the Trucker as well. The round table coming back tomorrow. Um, and all my comrades and everyone else that does this thing we here called podcasting or whatever you want to call it. Also, check out my radio show I got every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday on Blog Talk Radio, also called the G-Lew Show as well. We got to start promoting everything, you know. But yeah, we're back tonight. As you see right there in the title, who's teachable in today's lifestyle? That is what we're talking about tonight. Also, let me see. We're gonna have the phone lines up tonight too, so we'll put that up there. We'll leave that up there periodically to let you guys know when we open up the call lines, so you can call in. But now, let me welcome my boy. He's here, Big D. He's always keeping it real. What up, my boy? What's popping, man? Big D.
You know what it is, man. Just another beautiful Monday. You know, it's hot out here in Cali.
Right.
Hopefully everybody's all as well. And we're just back at it with another episode, baby.
That part right there. Big D, tell them what we got tonight, man. What's the episode, my boy? What we talking about?
All right. Well, if you guys could see the algorithm and the title, man, are we still teachable today? You know, I think it's very important that we still acknowledge, man, that we be students of the game. And that not only that we are approachable, you know, that we are students, man, because if we're willing to teach, then we're willing to learn. So I just thought that, you know, I came across it. You know, it's been on my mind. So I just thought, you know, we come and collab with the homie G-Lew, and we're here to take it to another level, man. Let's go. Let's run
That
it.
part right there. Yeah, I mean, I'm your boy G-Lew. I'm here with my homeboy Big D. We're here. Shout out to King of Real, everyone out there in the comments, but I'm here with my homeboy Big D, my partner right there. And you know, we come to this show every Monday night. Like I said, this is something kind of new. This is our 14th episode, I believe, but it's new as well still. And we come every Monday to talk about topics and conversations within our communities and with our own surroundings that affects us daily. You know what I mean? That doesn't get talked about enough or doesn't get talked about at all. And we try to talk about it on here, bring solutions, open up the community to be able to voice their opinions, and hopefully we can come up with resolutions or something that can help us move forward in a more positive direction than we already were. So this is the synopsis of this show. Let's talk about it. And shout out to my boy Big D, because it wouldn't happen without him. That's why I kind of made it happen. Like I was talking about in the interview, we connected, and I thought it would be a beautiful thing. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. That's right, man. And I appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate DD and you, G-Lew Pops, you know what I mean, for coming on. And we were just trying to make this channel grow. And, you know, we ain't really, you know, certified, you know what I mean, teachers and everything else, but we're just speaking on our lifestyles and, you know, and experiences and stuff that we've been through. So, you know, I thought we just come on and like I said, we picked a certain topic, we collab. And today's a hot one, man, you know, because we still want to know if today's society, if it's still teachable, you know, and, you know, I think it's very important, man, that everything that's taking place and everything that's happening today in today's society, in today's world, that, you know, that we be students of the game. If you know people that, you know, who are one of the greatest teachers of all time, you know, besides my heavenly personally father, you know, personally Lord and Savior in my life, you know, I still want to know, what do you guys think is today's society still teachable? And, you know, with that being said, you know, that goes with also, are we still students of the game? Got many people out there, man, who for many generations, man, since the beginning of time, like I said, have, you know, took those steps, man, and sacrifice and made examples of themselves in leaderships to portray that, hey, you know, that we could teach our young and be mentors, you know, to our young ones. And I think that's for me, my first issue, or I wouldn't even say issue, my first topic I would like to drop is our children. You know, it's very important that us as parents, us as uncles, aunts, cousins, you know, regardless of what your family or situation is, that we be students of the game, that we're still teaching our young ones, because that's where it goes and that's where it takes place at. Me coming up, you know, I didn't have a father figure in my life once again. And, you know, I was taught by many men and also by many women. And if it wasn't for that, people taking a little bit of time at a young age, you know, I was teachable, and because I was willing to learn, just like anything else. You know, I was put into sports. I had coaches, right? Taught me the game.
Right.
Got into the neighborhood, had some homies, older homies, taught me the game. You know, went to school, went to college, taught me the game. So, you know, you look at the algorithm and the title, but mostly what I'm trying to say to you guys is that, are you guys students of the game? Are you guys willing to learn? Or is today's society is acceptable of learning? Because today, if you look at it, you know, who's really teaching our younger generation right now? We talked about this before. It's our phones, it's the YouTube channel, social media, and not everything on there is it's very teachable. I mean, it's teachable, but it's not the proper teaching. You know, a lot of stuff that's being displayed is kind of affecting our children in my point of view. I don't know how you feel it, but you know, that's what I think right now. What do you think, Pops?
I like that, man. I like where you started at. Shout out to Nate Love. What up, Nate? Much love. Have fun. But I like where you started at with the kids, but also like you said just now, like who's teaching who and who's being held responsible. Like, what was the last part you just said right now? I lost my train of thought. That last part you spoke on right now, Big D.
The part is like, are we still teachable? You know, we got to be, you know, before you're, you know,
Students of the game. That's
yeah,
it.
you got to be
That's it.
students
That's
of
it.
the game.
That part right there, and that's what I wanted to touch on because yes, I think we need to be students of the game. I spoke on that the other night. I told homie I was a student of the. You have to be a student of whatever game you in. If it's the street game, homie, or whatever it is, you got to be a student of the game. Meaning you have to be willing to learn because you don't know it all. And that's where our big homies come in, and older people. We don't have to put the big homie quote unquote gang shit in there. It's just older homies that are being teachable, teaching the youth something. You know what I mean? Because I think that's what happened. We definitely lost. We lost a lot of that with the like I know our
Mentorship,
generation to the younger
a lot of
dudes.
mentorship.
Yeah, a lot of mentorship. It wasn't there. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the people our age are still kind of out there ourselves. You know what I mean? So it's like there was no room for that. And before you knew it, I know I see a lot of little homies or people like even family, cause like they grow up so fast, bro. We're out here living our life, and then you go back and look like two years later or so, their kids are grown up, bro. So I think
Yeah,
that part was missed, and it's definitely and the younger homies did lose hope too as well. It's not all of them are just hard headed or don't care. They just kind of lost hope too. I think in older homies or just don't care no more, and it's like now you can't tell me anything, right? But
right.
I think that needs to be fixed because younger homies, people in general, have to be students of the game, and you have to be willing to learn um, about things you don't know about. And older homies have to be willing to teach these things to the young homies, man. You have to bridge that gap. You know what I mean? You can't. I know a lot of times it's people don't want to deal with the youngsters because you know what I mean. They're too much. It's like, man, I don't even want to deal with it. But that's what the problem is. You're gonna have
And
to deal with them one way or another.
right. And it's very important, man, that you know, that we step up and we teach the next generation, man. Because like I said, if we don't teach the next generation, then you know, who will? And right now, you know, social media, you know, these kids are, you know,
That's
prone
what's
to
raising them.
YouTube,
Social
and
media is raising the kids now.
you know,
Definitely.
they're on TikTok, you
Yeah.
know, they're on Instagram, and you know, a lot of certain things that I look at, you know, I see it on there, and I'm just like, wow, man, you know, it's more of accepting violence. It's more accepting, you know, infidelity, homosexuality, disrespecting parents, disrespecting your family. It's okay to do drugs.
Yeah.
It's okay to get on.
Everything's accepted now. Like you just that's the key word. Everything is like accepted even when it's not supposed to be accepted. It's like everything is given a pass now. All the
Right.
wrong stuff is given a
All the
pass.
wrong stuff, you know. And like I said, man, and we see it. And like I said, I hope YouTube don't, you know, flag this or, you know, give us a strike on this. But you know, even themselves, you know, they're allowing certain things and certain topics to be discussed, and you know, for their views and for their, you know, clarity and whatever they, you know, whatever they're capitalizing on, amongst our young generation. And back then we didn't have that. We were lucky I grew up in the 90s, 80s, and we only had pagers and TV. So there was no TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
Shit, you didn't even get pagers
AOL.
to. I mean, yeah, even pagers that was later. Your late teens. You were lucky to have one, but really
Right.
later, you know what I mean. They were more and more common. But at first,
Right.
a pager was. You had to be somebody to have a pager, bro.
Right. And now today, like I said, social media is all over the place, and
Yeah,
I think it's very important that we teach still the narrative that, hey, mother and fathers are needed, families needed, education is important, respecting our past is important. Society and the world since the beginning
respect. Period.
yeah,
Is lost. That word respect is not even like that in itself is lost.
right,
You know what I
right,
mean? And that's like should be rule one, square one. You know what I mean? But that's lost. People don't even
right,
know what respect is or respect what respect is.
right. Despite the color, despite where you come from, what part of the country, what continent, we still got to be students of the game. We still got to, learn from our parents. We still got to learn from those who have stepped forward and, and declared and decreed that, hey, I'm going to take you under my wing. If you remember,
Right.
that was back in the days. Let me take you under my wing. I remember that. We used to say that all the
Right.
time.
Right. Yep.
Let me keep it
Yep.
real with you and show you the game. And
Yep.
that goes even amongst, like, things have changed. Back then, pimps were more respectful.
Yeah.
Drug
Everyone. It was. Yeah. They had rules because it was illegal and all that shit, but they had rules to the game. That's what kept it somewhat in order. Now, as you see, there is no order. There's already no honor amongst thieves, but it's no order at all.
right?
That's
Even,
why anyone can get it. It's like they
yeah.
don't give a. It's bad. All bad.
Even hip hop back in the days, when they started and gangster rap started, they were telling you what was facts. They were telling you what was real. They were telling you who was teaching you on the streets. You go back to the NWA, Eazy-E, and all that. They're gonna tell you Houdini and everything. I'm telling you, man. And now today it seems like more that, how could I say, the outside society is trying to control, the narrative on how not only what we think, but they're trying to take the next generation. And if you
Right.
see all loss and all respect is taking place, and we want to know why, is because nobody's paying attention on what's really going on, because everybody wants to be a teacher. Everybody
Right.
wants to say, hey, I've been on the streets for 2 days and I already could teach you what to do.
Right.
And that's just like, it's just like, hold on. You haven't even been through it. You hadn't even gone through it. So how are you going to teach me something that I already know or something that you don't know? We got to be students of the game. It's just like anything else in sports. All those who are successful, the
Put
great
the
ones,
work.
the GOATs, you got to put in work.
That's what I was
It's
saying the
just
other
on
day. You got to put the talent alone doesn't get it. The talent gets you there, of course, because you're better than most everyone else. But without the work and the stuff, the extras that goes with it, that's gonna drop off, homie. And if you don't have anything to stand on, you're gonna crumble.
Right? It amazes me when I look at Kobe Bryant's story, Michael Jordan's story, many other greats that are out there, not just in sports, like I said, but they put
But
in
how
that
hard they
time.
work, how hard they work,
How
and they don't
hard
even
they
have
work.
them. Don't even have to because they are the stars, quote unquote. But they still were there, first one there, last to leave.
Yeah. I remember that was Kobe Bryant, man. He always go to Jerry West and say, man, Jerry West would say, hey, you're young, I'll take you home, man. Kobe Bryant didn't know even how to drive. But he said, no, let me stay another hour, okay? Let me stay another couple hours, because when push comes to shove, and when that moment comes, you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. Now everybody wants to be a star.
Right.
Everybody wants to be on top of the food chain. Everybody wants to, wants their name to be recognized. And it's just like, okay. But some of the things you do now, some of these people who are in high publicity, it's just like, man, okay, you've been in the game for a minute,
Right.
but it's just like, still, it seems like you haven't learned anything, because you're talking about the same thing this other guy's talking about. So let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it, man.
Mm, mm, mm.
Mm.
Yeah. We're still here talking about it. People also, we got the let me see, phone lines up too. You know, anything we're speaking about tonight, you want to call in and chime in, we're here to talk about it. You know what I mean? So feel free to call in. Shout out to Miss 702. What's up, loved one? I ain't seen you in a minute. Glad you could check in with us.
702 on the line.
Yeah,
And
girl.
yeah, man. You know, I'm a man of like I said, I'm a man of many research, man. You know, before I go out there and say anything, you know, about anybody else, you know, I put myself in this certain situation, and I'm not saying I know everything. You know, you guys been here a couple episodes already. You know, I'm gonna put myself in a high standard, like I know everything, because I don't. But one thing I do know is emotions and the streets and things that happen to me in life. Now, I'm barely learning to know, like, what the government's capable of. And that's what we gotta be. We gotta be trucha, as us Chicanos and Mexicans and brown people say. We gotta be aware of what's going on, you know. And if we're not paying attention, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna be left behind. And right now, you know, if you guys can't see with your open eyes and what's taking place, go look at the streets. Go to your local gas station. You know, go check, you know, tap into the news for like 10 minutes and see how many wars that are out there, you know. And these are the people that we're supposed to be trusting in, our politicians, our government, you know, those who are out there saying that they're for us and they're trying to separate us, not only by, you know, by a political standard, but they're trying to push that narrative and push it on us. You know, we got to separate this group from that group, separate this color from that color, separate the children from these children. It's just crazy, man. You know, I'm glad that my daughter is a senior, because now if you're not paying attention, and for those who have kids and are young kids that are going barely to elementary, junior high, and you know, you're barely starting high school. It's hot like this weather right here, man. Cali right now, it's 100 right now, man. It's hot right now. You know, let me tell you something. These people, man, that's how it starts first. They try to push their narrative. They want us to be against our mothers and our fathers. They want us to be against our culture. They want us to, you know, go against the grain. And that's what I'm saying. It's our responsibility to teach our young ones, you know, not only your sons and your daughters, but your nephews, your nieces, you know, be an attribute, you know what I mean? Go to your local communities, get involved, you know, and to like the Boys and Girls Club, like back in the days, a safe haven, where they were not just preaching some BS stuff, man, you know? They understood the hardworking mom and the hardworking dad, and we had somewhere to go, you know, somewhere to hang out with, our local communities. We didn't have to worry about, you know, color, you know, we didn't have to worry about this, but as things starts transitioning, things start getting exposed as we get older, you know, we start learning and we start seeing and we start identifying what's wrong. Perfect example, NWA did it perfect, right? They were not truly gangsters. If you really look at their stories, they hung around with a lot of thugs, but they were capable of doing what they needed to do. After they knew what was happening against them, they were suppressing them, judging them, mocking them. And guess what? If you ain't fighting for the truth, then it's all a lie, man. You know, that's the straight out. Wow. That's the straight out part. If you ain't fighting for the truth, it's a lie. Now look at 25, 30 years later. Guess what's happening? The government's still oppressing us, right? Drug addiction's high. You know, homelessness is way out the chart.
Yeah.
You know, gas prices, economy. Today, you got to make a decision whether you're going to put gas in your car or you're going to buy food on the table. You know, that's just the way it is. They're trying to separate us, you know, the weak from the strong. Not to say that people are weak, but, you know, we're not influencing, you know, our other behalf. You know, it's like the way they see it, man. It's gentrification all the way, man. They're just trying to push us out. You know, and to be honest with you guys, if you guys ain't paying attention, they ain't worried about what color you are. They don't care how rich or poor you are. It's what if they could teach you their algorithm and you know, brainwash what they want you to think on their side. Abortion rights, all these laws start coming to play. Gun rights, everything just starts taking to place. And, you don't got to be the smartest person to see what's going on. That's why we have revolutions. That's why we have, gatherings, riots, all this other stuff, because we're not going for that. I ain't going for that. I'm going to be like Harlan Oates, I'm not going for that, and that's just the way it is. So, I myself.
Where do you think things are heading to right now? Like you just said, that's why these things call like how bad it is. We're headed towards something. And what do you think is as far as the climate, how everything is crazy, inflation, homelessness, drug abuse, everything that could be wrong is wrong right now. You know what I mean? Everything we've really talked about is what's going on right now in this society. Where do you think we're headed to? I mean, does it get worse before it gets better? Do you see it becoming better? Where do you see things going right now?
Well, it depends on who we trust in, bro.
Firm, Monique, what up?
Yeah. It really depends on who we trust in. They've been talking about, let's talk about it. They've been talking about, hey, your vote makes a difference right now, man. Your vote and teaching yourself and being student of the game and learning, what's right from wrong. I mean, there's still a welfare system. There's still. I mean, let's just take it like this. Look where the government's headed at, man. Let's just keep it real, right? Presidents and the government saying, hey, they want to give crack pipes to everybody in San Francisco, man. Everywhere. I never heard that crap in my life, man. Where the government is participating and actually pushing the narrative to keep those in drugs and bondage. If you look today, it would trip me out. Like I say, I pay attention to certain news, man. You got a bunch of kids who are in summer camp, going on a little vacation, they get dropped off right there in San Francisco. And there's a lot of tecatos right there, man. They're just shooting up right when these kids get off, man. Slamming heroin, smoking crack. I mean, it's just like, they're trying to blend that
What do you think they're going with that, though? What do you think they're really, because me, I think it's bigger too. I think it's a bigger plot. That's a way for all of that. I think especially San Francisco is really working on something like their own. They want to get all that out of there. Maybe this is a way to drive all that. Once they see, they can just put all that in one place and say, see, there it is. Maybe they can move it out as one. I don't know. But San Francisco, of all places, I think has a bigger plan, being that that's, where everything is going on at. You know what I mean?
It's not Frisco. It's not just Frisco, bro. You go a little bit up north, Oregon, Washington. Certain places, man. It's becoming more. It's where
that's right, Monique.
They still want us, to be. They want us to be in control. They want to control us. They still want us to be, like I said, if you're giving drugs to the drug addict, man, in a pipe, and you're a government official, I mean, we might as well have the cops, the fire department, the EMTs get high with us too, man. If we were all doing that and running the same thing, man, I mean, come on, But what it is that they want to give us what we want, so we can't gain what we really want. Yeah, they're just feeding us the how do you say it in Spanish, the lecha? They're just giving you it's with what you think that what's acceptable. And what's sad is that that's why we got to be students of the game, because if you were educated and you knew what was going on, you wouldn't accept things that is happening and taking place. That's where the problem's at. There's a lot of things when I was on the streets, I didn't accept it. I'm glad today that, people are using, when cops roll up, right away, they're using their First Amendment rights, man. Hey, I could get a phone. You want to hurt me as an officer? Cops are still killing black people. Cops are still killing brown people. It's still, cops ain't, you hardly see the white people. Yeah. So certain things are just adding more to feed the certain kind of community. And I ain't saying it's all, my white people that are trying to do that. It's more of a government official thing. That's what I think personally. It's more of the officials that are out there. That's what's taking place. But since we have one eye open and one eye closed, it's acceptable, man. It's acceptable.
Those are facts.
You tell that to Nelson Mandela. Tell that to I Have a Dream. Tell that to those who fought for us. They were not worried about color. They were not worried about, about this and that. They were worried about unity. They were worried about what's right was right. They were worried about those that we need to learn and what's taking place. And some of us have stood a stand. Some of us, we have, evaluated the scenario, and we have, come up and, we became students of the game. But now it seems like maybe I'm speaking for me, myself. Some of us have took a step back. Some of us has took a step back, got comfortable, thought we think we know it all. We're not teachable anymore. Nobody wants to be a student of the game. We depend on social media. We depend on Google. Kids these days, man, let me tell you something. They're taking a test. If kids are taking a test these days, they could go to Google and get the answers and cheat.
Yeah.
Are they really learning?
Yeah.
Come on, man. You can't do that when it's physical. Can't do that on a football field. Can't do that on a swimming pool. You have to have your mind right here and then your mind right here, man. And that's where I think that, hey, us people still, it doesn't matter, man. We got to be students of the game and learning every single day. So when we get to those Moses ages, we could tell our next generation, like, hey, this is how we fought. This is how we declared our leadership. This is what we stood for. And, I'm a student of the game, but now I'm also teachable.
Hey, Big D, let me ask you this then. So how do we get back? So we know all this now, and we know we're lost. Is really, that's not going on, really. How do we, well, I know we can't answer it all in one, but, we could talk about it. So how do we get back to that place where people are teachable and people want to teach? As far as our older and older homies and youth and the youth. How do we even get back there?
Right. It has to go back to the home, bro. Everything starts in the home, man. Like me, myself, if I ain't teaching my daughter a little bit of Spanish, I'm accountable for that. If I ain't teaching my daughter her culture, I'm responsible for that. If I ain't teaching my daughter that, hey, money is a value and it's nothing to be paid, it's hard working money, I'm responsible for that. I'm liable for that. Right. They still want us to be motherless, fatherless. That's how they could control us, man. If your mother and your father ain't watching you, then they're gonna take that place. If the streets, and that's where it goes from the streets. They want you to go to jail because probations need a job. Police officers need a job. They want to make us a statistic, right? They want to use anything they can use, man. And they're not even students of the game themselves, but they are in the same, because that's the game that they're learning, man. If we could control these people and we could teach them and get the next generation, then all is won for them and all is lost for us, man. So it starts in the home, regardless, man. They're taking away marriage. They're putting the same genders together. And we got to be careful, man. We got to make sure that we're teaching. If we know right from wrong, if we know that, hey, this is not okay, then you got to, I think the way we do it, Pops, is we voice our opinion. We gather.
Let me ask you this, because you spoke on something again. I got to touch on certain things when they get spoken about, because let's talk about it. These are serious situations going on. You spoke about gender and same sex, all this it was Pride. Well, it just was Pride Month. All the things the kids are being taught now, right? Where do we stand as where do parents stand? Where, like you said, it has to start early. That's why I think parents need to take more. You can't let so, quote unquote, just the world and TV and social media raise your kids. You have to step in and you have to be taught early, because, like you say, what is a parent's fight once these things are going on? The kids are being taught. Or these things are going on even as early as grade school, elementary, where they're showing them it's okay to be this and that and these things and that things, right? And then you want to come in and tell your kid, no, that's not what we do, and we're not doing that. And now they have a problem with you and have a legitimate argument, because they can go back, or just after you have a talk or sit down or with your kid, now they can go back to school, but not behind your back, but just go voice their opinion. Oh, my dad or such and such says they don't like this, and turn it around where you're homophobic, he doesn't like gays, and he told me this, and that, and I don't like that because I was taught here that we can do this and that. These type of things.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It comes down to us parents that we got to teach our kids what's right and what's wrong. When you're compromising, that means that you're unbalanced, bro. When you're compromising, that means when it sounds good over here, it sounds good over there. So, it's a little state of confusion, man. Because if you don't stand for what's your right, Bob Marley says it's perfect, man. Stand up for your rights. Stand up for your rights. If you don't stand up for your rights, man, then it's gonna and then they're gonna take that narrative and they're gonna run it. If there's something that in your school that's not taking place, that you're not happy with, go to your local district, man. You know how many times that I had to go to the district, to the school, and to see what was the problem with my daughter, why was she not learning in her class, and what was the problem? Did you know one of the time that I went and I found out that one of the teachers was suppressing my daughter?
That's great, but see, the thing is, the problem, I'm not going to say with all, but mainly in the inner city communities more so, that a parent won't even know where to start. Like if they do have an issue like that or a problem, they won't even know where to go. They won't know, like you said, to go to my district. All they know is to go up to the school and find a teacher and cuss their ass out. Why? And that's not going to get it, unfortunately. But that's what I'm saying. They don't know this information, bro.
That was my first attempt. That's what I did.
But you feel me? That's what most are gonna do. Inner city parents. You know what I mean?
Okay. But what happened was that when the situation came again, I taught myself and I knew what to do. I became a student of the game. Right. So I knew the first time, since this happened before, I knew how to retaliate and go the proper way. So I went to the district. That's what happened. And then I made a complaint. And then
how did you know to go to the district and where to go?
Right.
How did you know?
Because I had to learn from the first time. Because like you said, I wined and dined it, went over there, wanted to cuss out the principal and say, hey, you know what I mean? I came out at them wrong, but they were hiding the true facts that they knew what they were doing was wrong too.
Right.
So I learned.
As long as you come like that ignorant, they can use that against you.
Right. I wasn't taught the proper way, so I had to learn. See, when you teach somebody, that means somebody's willing to learn. And when you're willing to learn, then you know how to make the right moves. Right? You know how it is. It's just like anything else, man. You go into a job place, and you don't know something, you do a mistake. You best believe that the supervisor or the manager, they're gonna tell you something. They'll give you a warning. And if you don't learn from that point, then you're not teachable. That's what we're talking about, right? It's today, are we teachable or do we think we know it all? And that's what our younger generation today, they think they know everything, man. How many times have we talked to our kids, man? Oh, I know this. I know that. You don't need to tell me.
But do you think that's more of just like a normal, because when we were kids, we thought the same. I think that's just almost a normal thing. You can beat, it's almost like you got to beat it into a kid's head to get it, but they're still going to do that because that's kind of a kid's nature. Not all, but most, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that's very normal. Until crap hits the fan, until they become a victim, till it comes on their plate, and then they come home crying, and that's what's a lot of the problems. Children these days, they don't even know how to talk to their parents, man. Because their parents are not teaching. Or vice versa.
The parents don't know how to talk to the kids.
Right, and that's what today's talking.
The more you don't do it and put it off and don't have that or whatever, the more and more a gap is, and then therefore, like you said, it gets to a point there's no talk really, or they don't even want to talk.
And that's, I ain't gonna say that's the sad part, but see, that's the part where that has to be an eye opener. That these days, some families today, they don't even know, how to be approachable, bro. They're not even teachable. A lot of parents, they lack that education, they lack that time, they lack that effort, because they're so caught up in paying the bills. They're so caught up in buying food. They're so caught up, in doing everything else except investing in themselves first so they could teach. That's what I'm saying, You got to look at football players, man, A lot of these stories that come up, man, what's that football one? He was an adopted kid, right? He had and some adopted family, or what's that one football one? You know what I'm talking about. Family took him in.
Yeah. I forgot the name of it.
They were Caucasian.
Yeah. That was a true story.
Yeah, it's a true story.
That was a true story, yeah.
But they believe in him. You'll be surprised if you teach and you're a student of the game and you go and you just evaluate and spend a little time how much you could get out back, and the feedback from not only your kids, it could be your cousins, your nephews, friends. That's what we're talking about. You teach them, morals, you teach them values. That's how you become a student of the game, man. We're always going to be teaching, and we're always going to be learning. That's just the way it is. But some people these days, the way things are happening now, anything that has to do with education, they don't want you to know everything. It's for instance, let's talk about health. Okay, you go to the doctor. Hey, Big D, you're 100 pounds overweight, man. You got you got diabetes, high blood pressure, this and that. Here, take some pills, man. These pills are going to help you for maybe 10 years. But it's going to kill you in 15. Instead of you going and teaching yourself and be a student of the game and learning how to rehabilitate your body and take the proper things to eat, there's natural remedies, people. If you're not exercising, if you're not pushing yourself,
that's
you're gonna
another thing now. No one's doing that anymore because they're making everything so easy. Like, especially if you got some money, they're not gonna work. They're gonna go get the pay to get the whatever done, and this and that becomes addictive because now you're doing it more and more. That you see that with the plastic surgery and all this.
Your body,
like you said, no one's even doing any work anymore. They just think they can go, like you said, and that's just masking it.
Hey, Pops, how do we call it on the streets? It's a quick fix, man.
Quick fix, yeah.
It's a quick fix.
But you're always gonna be chasing that motherfucker. Always gonna be chasing it though, and it's never, it's just a cheap fix.
And if you're getting, and if once your body gets used to that strain, they're gonna give you another strain.
Yeah.
You go from pills to shots, from shots to the respirator, from the respirator to your dying bed, bro.
Yeah.
Just like that, quick like. And that's just like everything else, man. And unless you teach yourself, are you teachable? Are you willing to learn? Because if you're not, you're not a student of the game.
Right.
You're just going to be another statistic like everything else. I ain't calling us losers. I had to learn. A lot of this has to do with this is self-motivation too. You got to go back to our episodes and go back from the beginning, from episode 1. We talk about motivation. We talk about all this.
It's all levels. We've taken all different levels. Yeah.
But it all comes into one big factor, or I like to say the truth. So that's what I'm saying, man. They're to me, United States, they're the biggest pharmaceutical, big drug dealers in the world, man. And all they're after is your money, because they know we got insurance, right? And they know we got some kind of.
They run it up. Yeah, they run it up either way.
So they're students of the game. They were taught. Pharmaceutical people, they're teachable. You know what I mean? They're students of they're students of the game. They're ahead. They know people get sick, and they're gonna diagnose you.
They're gonna diagnose that ass.
and
then they got you.
They got you. You know what I mean? So are you teachable or are you not? We could say like, oh, I know this, I know everything, I know this, I know that. Stop lying. You know what I mean? Stop lying to yourself, people.
Stop it.
You're just keeping it real 100, man. Let's talk about
Stop it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Crazy, man. And that's why, let me mention this too, Pops. I think honestly, that's why our grandparents knew, man. They were students of the game.
Yeah.
Because there was no social media back then, bro. They kept it real, legit, 100, man. You go work hard, you get the rewards, man.
Yeah.
Grandma stood home, parents, stood home. Fathers were out there, hard workers.
Yeah.
And they were able to sit home, man. You guys were able to sit dinner all together. We were able to discuss things, talk about things, share things. These days,
they're
man,
the last ones left, bro. That's what I say. After our grandparents, most have lost. Still some. I mean, depending on how old you are, but like our ages and stuff, most of us have lost most of our grandparents. You know what I mean? So, and then you see the difference once they're gone. That's like the real structure of everything. You know what I mean? And then it's just nothing else like it, bro. And now you see what we have today. I don't think we'll ever get that back.
I'm not trying to be the way my grandparents told me to be, because they did raise me even though I didn't have a father. But you know, I hoped I could be darn close to what they were, man. And even though my grandparents divorced at 56 years old, you know, they were still knew what was going on. You know, they still knew how to raise a family. It wasn't perfect. They brought out the chancla. They brought out they brought the whooping. And there's nothing wrong with discipline, man. You know, discipline is a form of love.
It's a form, yeah.
You know? And if you ain't teaching, this is what we're talking about. Are you teachable? If you ain't teaching your kids the right or wrong, you ain't showing them a form of discipline. I ain't going telling you guys go beat your kids. You know, discipline is a form of love. The Bible says it, man. You know, spare the rod, man. Because if you don't, guess what? You want to know why your kids are like this? You want to know why your kids are like that? It's because that simple fact that you didn't take time to teach your children when they're from the right and from the wrong. You know, that's just straight up truth. And I still, like I said, I trip out. The government's never gonna have it right, man. And let me tell you, people, you know, I feel bad for the foster kids. They come in, they have no mother, no father. As soon as they're 18, you're out of here.
Yeah.
Homie gets out of jail, don't have nowhere to parole to, don't have a family. You know, family just disregard them, push them out. You're out of here.
It's hard to teach this generation. Yeah, that's what we're saying, man. You know, I don't know, Hodges. I don't know about this younger generation, Holmes.
Right. And it reflects because it's a form of disrespect, man. You know, you don't have to be black or brown, you know what I mean, towards disrespect. They want to see that, you know. The devil wants to see that. I'll say that. I'll throw it out there. You know, they want to see. He wants to see us as human society coming against each other, fighting each other, killing each other. You know, we talk about certain people. It's all of us, man. War doesn't matter if you're from Ukraine, United States, China. Yeah. Trump says it, China. You know, no. It's just that, you know, they're balancing on what they want. It's a higher power that's out there, man. And us people, we need to learn and we need to be taught. That's why, are you teachable? Right. Are you really teachable today? Do you really know what's going on? You know, I like, you know, I gave a big shout out to Silencer, Big Silencer. Yeah. You know, I saw his show when you were on there, Pops. You know, he was calling you a motivation speaker, this and that. That's feeding, man, you know? Yeah. Because, you know what I mean? We speak from the heart, man.
Right.
Because in some sense, we haven't been through it all. But throughout the line, the chain line, you know, we've been there. You know, slowly but steadily. It hasn't been an easy road, bro. You know, everybody has issues, man. Everybody has problems. We still have, you know, racial tensions. Racial tensions are still there.
They don't stop.
Yeah, racial tensions are still there. Poverty's still there. You know,
it don't ever stop. And it don't stop for you. It don't stop for no one. Like I was saying on the interview too, life don't stop. You know, so we gotta push through all the hurdles and obstacles. We know it's a lot.
We gotta teach.
We gotta. All of that stuff has to come together, period. We gotta teach. We gotta be able to be teachable. We gotta be able to learn. No one's too old to still learn. I love to get information, man. You know, when it's presented to me or when I can gather information. I love that. That's the things I'm most interested in. You know, even when I watch interviews or different channels or whatever, if it's something that could teach me or I can learn something, I love that. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, man. You know what I mean?
Andrew,
who is teachable today, man? You know, it seems like nobody's teachable because social media, bro.
Everyone, yeah. They think they know it all. You don't know
they
that.
Think they know it all. Shit. You know, I already know my narrative. My daughter comes out and she's coming out acting a certain type of way. I already know where it's coming from, bro. Because her videos, her language, what she's listening to, right away, it's that phone. Yeah. And back then, remember they said, hey, Pops, remember they should say, our parents, I'm going to take the TV away from you. Hey, I'll take the phone away from my daughter, bro.
Yeah. And that's when you take that phone away, that's the whole world. If that's your whole world, that phone, bro. You take that phone away, that's the worst punishment you can give them, boy, for sure.
Wake up, people.
They're going crazy without that phone.
You know, I'm guilty of it. But
everyone is. If you don't have your phone is just as important as your wallet, man. If you don't got that phone, I don't care if you halfway, you turn around and go get the phone.
Hey, Pop, so you don't think
just like your wallet.
Hey, yeah, you don't think that our forefathers knew that? You know, you don't think that they were gonna say like, hey, let's make this phone, you know what I mean, approachable, teachable, and we could get them right there, man. You
But
could go
what
on.
they did, how they did it is when they added everything else, like a computer, like everything. Like before, we've had phones, but like you said, we didn't put much into it. You know what I mean? Now it's like,
Look, if you're not watching what your kids are watching, man, don't be surprised if you walk in, your little boy's spanking his monkey, dog. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For
because
sure.
that's
because there's too much. All they got to do is, man. That's
phone,
another thing. These kids are. That's another thing too. I'm glad you spoke on that. Sorry, we had to go there. But yeah, that's another thing. These kids are getting raised on. This young kids being raised on watching porn. I'm telling you, bro, they're on some different shit right now. Excuse my language.
Hey.
These kids. That's what I'm saying. You got to be involved. You got to know kind of what's going on. You got to at least be in the know. If not, they 20 miles ahead of you right now.
They're ahead of us, bro. Ahead of you guys, not me.
Real spill. That I'm telling you.
You know, I ain't saying all phone is bad, bro, but you know, social media. Man, you know, my daughter got caught several years back, man, because her picture was on the video when there was a girls' fight. And even though my daughter's innocent, she didn't really do nothing. You didn't think she got suspended? You want to know why she got suspended? Because her face was on that video. It's just like, you know what I mean? It's just like if you go with some homies, they kill some guy and they catch all three of you, you're busted too, man. You're just as guilty. Conspiracy to murder. You know what I mean? Just like that. Violence. Just like that. And we're not just talking about that. There's just porn on the TV. You want to know why kids are dying too? You're seeing all these race cars driving, little kids get in the car, they want to go 100 miles per hour.
Yeah.
You know?
That's popular now. That's what it's different. It's different stuff, bro. I mean, I know when we were young, we were doing some crazy stuff, but it was like not I don't know, it's not trying to be, you know what I mean? It's like it's some different things, different stuff going on right now, man, with these youngsters and what is popular, bro. It's just
it's today's lifestyle. It's today's lifestyle, bro. And this is what the kids are being taught. That it's okay.
That stuff
how come, you know what I mean? How come social media is not getting flagged? How come YouTube don't flag that kind of crap?
Right.
You know what I mean? How you know
they flag they politic what do you call that? Forgot the name I'm looking for, but like you said, one other stuff they'll flag you quickly. But stuff like that, they let go all day.
They'll flag the G-Lew oldie show all night, man, when we're having a good time.
Yeah, but they'll let somebody get killed or something on there.
Everybody's on the chat,
out.
loving one another, supporting one another, showing love to one another. But when it comes to everything else, man, they don't give a flying freak, man. You want to know why? Because they want to control, man. Because they know that, you know what I mean? They could also teach the next generation to be teachable, bro. That's what they're looking at. You know? That's just straight up stuff, man.
That's facts, homie. That's facts. Shout out to our sponsor, Spider Low. That's facts over feelings. You know what I mean? And it's real, man. You know, see a lot of people. Shout out to the House of Tattoos, West Coast Graffiti.
House of Tattoos. What's up,
there, man?
DD West Coast. Let me tell you something, man. Let me see it. Let me see everybody on the chat. On the chat. Everybody else who checks this video out, man. Later on, you know, I advise you, man, share this video. No, you'll be supporting the algorithm and, you know, supporting the show and what we're talking about, positivity, man. Let me say in a little simple facts and simple matters, man. A boxer, bro. A boxer doesn't go into a fight without learning, bro. You know what I mean? A boxer takes it serious, man, because nobody wants to get beat up, man. You know, they study, they train, you know what I mean? And it's our responsibility to make sure that we study, that we train our kids, and we become the trainer. Because, you know, if not, somebody else is going to teach the fighter. You know, we got to learn how to fight back, man, straight out, man. You know, a boxer you don't go into a competition without, hey, you know, I'm going to fight Floyd Mayweather, and I never fought in my life. I'm going to lose.
Right.
I'm going to lose. You know, I'm going to go play. I played a little bit of football, so I understand that. See, when you're teaching somebody, you build a relationship. And then it starts being an understandable relationship. And then you send the next generation out, you know what I mean, with success. Or to have some tools to fight, or to have some tools to argue, you know. And today's lifestyle, man, you know, are we teaching? You know, let's keep it real, man. You know, it's just like, you know, are we really there mentoring our kids? Are we too busy making that dollar? Are we too busy, you know what I mean, making sure that, you know, are we paying the rent, or is it between gas and food? or how much gas do I put on there? You know, if you really tell kids these days what's really going on there, they don't know. They're more into social media, man. All they know is about cars, pornography, you know, fights, this and that.
But let me ask you this, Big D too. Do you think it's more? Do you think it's more to blame as well? Like now that they do have all this extra stuff, because look, when we were coming up, I know it was the same way. Like either like you just said it yourself, you have problems in the household. I know me. It was just my mom, single mom, three boys. My mom worked all the time. Like I said, I don't really even remember homework or helping me or do none of that. But it still wasn't like, but it was still different. Like we still had respect. Like for my mom, like it wasn't like now out. You know what I mean? My mom still had utmost respect and all this other stuff, and it still didn't affect us per se in that way. The things we chose to do affected us. But do you blame that more so now that kids have more, because we didn't have all this extra stuff, so we weren't on social media or doing all this stuff that kids do? Do you blame somewhat of social media and all this new tech and the things that have changed from when we were kids to add to that?
Yeah, because you gotta understand, man. If you put a video up like the Island Boys, man, you could be a hit, man. You make money at a young age, boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, back then we respected our forefathers. We respected our parents. You know, because
Facts.
we knew what they were
That's
doing.
What I'm saying.
They were dropping money to support us. Now these kids these days, you know, they're not teachable. You know, they think they can make their own money. They think they could do their own hustle. You know what I mean? They think they could look at a pimping video, you know what I mean? Watch Hookers of the Night, and, you know, all these other guys, you know, and exploit that. Hey, you know,
that's why I asked you, do you think, because I think that really has even more to do with it as well, because the stuff they just have in front of them. And then, like you said, they just learn it from this. They don't even go outside. So it's not like we really had to go outside and learn and meet and do this and that and know about what was going on over here in La Puente or Whittier or South Central or wherever, because we had to go there. Right. Now it's like you can learn all this stuff from sitting in your room on your phone.
Right. Yeah. Well, the bullshit stuff, yeah, they could learn. Now, excuse my French.
No, let's talk about it.
You know, they can learn the bull crap, you know, but how much is it really helping, you know, the parents, man? You know, how much is it really helping the parents, man? Right. It ain't helping the parents at all, man. It's just making it a little worse, you know. Now you got kids, you know, they got the vape, you know, they think tobacco, you know, it's an influence. They know everybody wants to smoke. See how we could throw the biggest smoke.
Yeah.
Now my rap name's Big Smoke, you know. I mean, instead of Big D, you know.
And it's just too, and all the kids have access to this shit. Like we just could not do that back in the day, bro. I mean, it was cigarettes and all that, but you really had to be crafty, and you was not just. It's just too. Everything is too common and okay now. You know what I mean? It's like, so there's no respect there, even with the parents and the kids. A lot of the stuff the parents just accept now. They like, well, you know. It's not that. That's not that. A lot of stuff is just accepted more. So, the parents just are not parenting the same way, and I can't tell no one how to parent. That's not what I'm saying. But you get where I'm going, though. It's more that it's no parenting. It's more of a friendship now, or agreement with the parents.
We'll use the C word like your hat, bro. More like a compromise, big dog.
Compromise, yeah. That's what they doing now. That's what they doing now. Real talk. That's what they doing though.
When the kids crying, what do?
They don't want their baby. They don't want them. It's just so much of that too. Like they babe, you know. So it's just, I don't know.
You know, you gotta understand, man. You know, you look. You know, people are still teachable today. I know they are, man. They're still cooks. You know what I mean? They're still teachers. They're still, you know, athletes. They're still. You know, there's a lot of good things that people are still doing today, but you got to understand, everybody's using the social media to extract and to use their platform and to say that they are the teachers of today's society, man.
Right.
Yes, they're not, bro. You know, it's not. You know, it has to come from the household, bro. I rather have the house dysfunctional, teaching me dysfunctional things than to have the social media teaching me this crap. To tell you the
but
truth.
You know what, too, and that's important. You said that it does start in the home, and it really, I think people need to know it starts from early. Instead of just when you have that little cute baby and all that, be teaching certain things early, so you get in a pattern. A lot of times parents will be late. They'll be 5, 6 years old before they start doing anything, because they just want to just be the baby cute and playful and all this, right? And not taking those steps. But aside from that, we need to, like the homie said, just start teaching, because what happens too, some of these homes, kids come into the home may be so bad, bro, and it may not even be the parents' fault or whatever. It may be a bad, I mean, in the projects, or the mom's boyfriend or husband who she has to depend on is an asshole, whatever the case. And then some of these kids, even the parents, look for the school to kind of help them out, and that's more of a safe place and a place for them to learn and all that. So they're looking to the school. You know what I mean? So it kind of goes back and forth as well. Like you said, it starts in the home. Sometimes the home wants the school to do the work because there's nothing they can do.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like my wife said right now, man, if you see somebody struggling, help them out, man. You know what I mean? Say something, that's the problem, man. We're willing to turn our head the other side, man, and not, get involved in it, because society has taught us, hey, it's not your problem. Don't worry about it.
Right. That's what it is now. It's taught us, if it's not yours, if it's not your problem, if it's not your kid, whoever, they don't, I don't care.
Yeah.
So nobody cares until it hits them, per se.
Until it hits them, man, And what's crazy too, I notice about these kids, these younger generation, man, about, their teachable aspects. They want to go into a job, man, make $20 an hour, man. So it seems like these kids, man, they think they have it all together, man. They want to make more money than you, not knowing nothing about the game, man. Let me tell you that. And that's how you get influence, man, because somebody's gonna put a shoulder over your arm around your neck, and they're gonna teach you, man. But I hope they teach you well, you know what I mean? Because that's what we're talking about. Is today's society, are we teachable or not? It's today's lifestyle. Let me tell you something. They are gonna teach your kid, and if the manager's a sour, foul guy, he's gonna teach your kid how to be dirty. He's gonna teach your kid. He's gonna teach him how.
So that's why D said you got to start too. You got to you got to plant the seeds at home. So whatever they do and whatever they go out and learn in this, because they still have to do, they have to learn on their own. But if you plant the seeds, it starts at home first. If you plant certain seeds, there's certain things they're never gonna forget or know that, no, I know this is because my pops or my mom, whatever, already told me this right here. Right. You know what I mean? So I know how to deal with this situation.
Right. I teach my daughter, bro. Believe it or not, I teach my daughter to love the African community, to love the Caucasian community. To love your,
because you have to. The kids have to be you have to be strong in your pride and in your your background and all that.
But respect others.
Be well versed and respect others, because it's a world this is the world we live in, bro. And you can't. You have to live in this, especially if you want to get money and plan on being successful or whatever. You have to know how to deal with other people. Period.
Yeah, because if we send our kids out there, man, it's like a chicken without a head, man. Right. And there's a lot of people, and I get it because of the circumstances, because of what took place in their lives. Not everybody has a father and mother. A lot of people are still in poverty. So we got psychological problems now. Everybody's saying, we have a psychological problem. The homeless epidemic. The drugs, it's just everywhere. It's becoming a problem. That's what I'm trying to say, because, and nobody's teaching the next generation. And then not everybody's fortunate to have parents. Not everybody's fortunate to have grandparents. Like I said, I have sympathy for those foster kids after they're 18 years old who've been through the system. And then they're just sent straight to the streets, and with no education, no sense of taughtness. No sense of lifestyle, respecting, where's the money going to? If they're taking money from my taxes, I hope it covers that, because the bullshit is that Biden's order sending crack pipes, and trying to, find a fast resolution, solving problems, hey, we got to give, just them crack pipes, we got to give them, keep giving them welfare. We got to keep giving them money, the pandemic money and stuff like that. We're paying for that stuff. I'm barely learning myself that all those money that we got from the government, we're paying it back, and with interest, man. That's what's the crazy part. The government's coming to collect. They want their interest. They don't give a damn how are they going to get it. They're going to get it from you, and that's the sad part right there. So unless we start being mentors, You don't gotta be a father to that person and this person and that person. You don't gotta be a mother to this. All you gotta do is have some companionship and show some love, man. You know, look at Mike Tyson, man. He was raised, I think, by a white woman, or after his mother died, I believe. You know what I mean? The family friend, she was white, took him in. She didn't look at the color. She saw talent, man. You know, she saw his heart. She saw a young man. She didn't even look at color, man. She saw a young man who needed some covering, and that's what it is, man. We got to cover. You know what I mean? That's how kids. That's how the next generation becomes teachable. You know, if we give them a covering, if we show them love, if we show them compassion, if we make an attempt to show them, like, hey, man, you know, this is, you know, it's like oldies, man. You know, everybody loves oldies, man. You know, that's oldies live forever. You know. Well, what about our companionship and our love towards one another? What about the respect we have for one another? You know, that's what takes place, man. You know, a lot of these guys who are even famous and come up back in the day, like I said, Mike Tyson, man, they had a lot of trauma in their life, man. They got bullied while they're young. You know what I mean? Went through some crazy crap and got mentored by some solid people, regardless of color. They were students of the game. And by somebody believing in them, and they showed their perfectionist, and they still had problems. Mr. Mike Tyson, after going through certain, getting older, because when fame,
you see him now, the big changes he's made. Hey,
changes, man.
I like the House put this quote. I think he said by Martin Luther King, but that was one of my favorite quotes. Just because what he said. Martin Luther King said it. Don't judge a book or a man by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. That's the most important part. You know what I mean? You judge a man by the content of their character. That's how you judge a man, and you decide if a man is a man. You know, that separates the men from the boys. The content of their character. Do they stand on what they talk about? You know what I mean? Do they walk what they talk? Are they being an example of what they're preaching? You know what I mean? In some type of form. No one's perfect, but a man is a man. We know this at what point, you know what I mean? So that's how we judge other men, by the content of their character.
You know what's crazy about that too?
Thank you, House. Go ahead, bro.
Is that he was speaking for all races, bro.
Exactly. That's why he said it. Yeah.
All races, bro. He was not speaking about certain color, certain topic. He was speaking because, you know, diversity and division, bro. That's where we're at right now.
That's what goes on to this day. People judge you by what they see before they know the person you are. Period.
You know it's a trip, bro. You know, the other day, you know, I was on your channel, bro, too, and you have what's her name, bro, Thug Angel.
Yeah.
Big shout out to her, man.
That young lady, man.
How the mofos are trying to go after her kid, man.
Yeah.
That's effed up, bro. And she's a mother. Where's Pops at, man?
That's what I kept. You see, that's the main thing I kept preaching. I'm like, on both ends, for her son and for this dude over here, obviously, who doesn't have no one telling him, you know what I mean, homie, what are you doing?
Hey, Pops,
so it affected both ends.
You were pressing it, bro. You were pressing it, you know? And she came on.
I know she didn't want to hear that, but it was just what was real.
Yeah, hey, she came on, you know what I mean? And I know you planted a seed in her, bro. Because, you know, it seems like her success was her music, bro, not spending too much with a kid, even though it was that. She wants to get to 100 real quick so she could get her house, take her kid out of the neighborhood, put them in that nice school. It's a process, bro. You always got to keep an eye on your young ones, bro. Yeah. You know, trip out on this, man. Teachable, right?
Right.
You know, are we still teachable in today's lifestyle, man? I watched the National Geographic. I watch the National Geographic show, bro. You know, I like to watch how, you know, how even animals, man, you know what I mean, how they love their cubs and their young ones and stuff like that. And the other day, I've been
watching a lot of animal stuff lately too. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, you know I love lions, man. You know what I mean.
That's what I'm on. That's all I watch, bro. Go ahead, homie.
Hey, let me tell you something. One thing about lions, man, that's a part of my neighborhood. Okay, I'm just gonna throw it out real quick because if you guys know Quiet Village, the lion sleeps tonight, right? We know the song. Look up the song. It says the lion sleeps tonight. It says Quiet Village. So, you know, if you haven't, go look at the tokens and hear that song.
I'm surprised you never requested that on Sunday, bro. Go ahead.
You know? Yeah. Not yet. But trip out on this, man. So we had a I forgot the kind of animal it was. You know, she was going across the river, right? And the alligators are there, man. They're mobbing. You know, they're waiting. They know they're gonna get fed.
Right.
But you know, even though the mom knew she was gonna probably sacrifice herself, she still had to teach her young cub to go across that river in order to live, right? Because the food source is running out over here.
Right.
The
So
food
we
is
have
over
to do
there.
this. We got to do this shit.
How did that say it? You know,
Regardless.
and that's the way life has to be, man. As parents, as teachers, if you want to, you know, the mom was being a student, man, and it cost her life, bro. You know, and she went across,
Preach.
and who got eaten up, man? The mom did, bro.
The mom did.
You know, that calf went across, and it lived. And I'm pretty sure, man. You know, animals these days they still know the foundation, bro.
Bro, you know, I'll be looking at, I'm, you know, you got to take me somewhere, but you brought up that stuff. That's all I've been like really watching lately. Like I'm on YouTube, and you know, you scroll, and now once something, you know, they got your algorithm, whatever you think or look, they're gonna seem like they put a lot of it. So I've been watching a lot of this animal stuff, man, and it just gives me a different perspective, man. Like how they live out there in the wild, bro. Not only the lions and the hyenas and those wild dogs, how brutal and but it's all about them just trying to eat. But they are so that stuff that gave me a different perspective, man. It made me look like
they don't got TV.
That gave me a different perspective, man. I'm like, wow.
They don't got social media. They don't got none of that crap, man. They're still living back to their foundations and their roots, bro.
What up, Denise? Happy birthday. Yes.
Denise. They're still living on the things, you know. We could learn something, man. You ever heard that TV show? Remember back in the days that cigarette, I mean the no seatbelt, you could learn from a dummy.
Yeah. Well, they had the dummies,
you know,
going to the wall.
Dummy, man.
Yeah.
You know, animals.
They need to bring those back. They need to bring those commercials back. Seriously, more modernized. Because it's just truth. You can learn a lot from a dummy, and that's really what's going on right now. Like you know, come on, man. What up, Queen Jean, Mr. Chris, everyone in the chat. Yeah, you know what I mean? You can learn a lot from a dummy. Those commercials were so simple, but straight to the point because they showed the dummy like.
It's straight to the point, man. The mom sacrificed herself for the cub could live, man. Their future. And us as parents and as adults and overseers of the next generation, we have to be willing to sacrifice ourselves and teach the next generation, bro, so they could be students of the game and so they could be prepared and be aware of what's going on and taking place today because everything's acceptable today.
Everything's
acceptable.
Everything. There's nothing that's really like no, this is not.
Shout out to Cat Williams. Everything.
Yeah, it's nothing that's like there's no line drawn in the sand. It's like everything is acceptable, and if you dare try to say this is not acceptable, see they mess my mic up.
It's like this. They want us to be like this. Oh, you see that? Oh, not really. You see that over there? Oh,
that
not
part.
really.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
They want us to go. They want us to follow their narrative, and if we don't, guess what? We're the problem.
Yeah, that's
backwards. How are we the problem if we got taught by, you know what I mean, those who stood for us and stood, you know, and taught us? They taught us, man. Those are our teachers right there. Rosa Parks, man. You know what I mean? Straight out, man. Shout out to Rosa Parks still to this day, bro. What do you mean I can't sit in the front?
Right.
I mean, who are you? Like, what you say? Hey, what? You know what I mean? Watch me. That's what she said. Watch me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to go sit in the front of the bus just like everybody else. You know what I mean? Because of my color? Are you kidding me? You know what I'm saying? You know, not everything has to be accepted, man. You know, we gotta stand for like Bob Marley.
Stand for our rights, but we gotta do it like in a way. That's another thing though too, because that stuff is blurred too now. You see kids stand up for their rights, but it's just ugly now. Like you see kids going somewhere and just start fighting, tearing up the place and beating up. You know, it's the way you got to do it. The kids now are doing this stuff ignorantly now, and it's a bad look, man. I see a lot of this stuff, and it's just embarrassing, man.
It's our kids. It's our generation. Yeah. It's our people, man. You know, you got.
So you got to do it the right way, man. You got to stand up for your rights and stuff, but do it in the right way. You can't.
You don't got to get a mob of 20 people and go steal the local freaking mall, the robbery and all that stuff. Go to work, man. Work hard for it. You know that there's a military, there's a college, there's a, you know what I mean? There's this and there's that. I mean, come on, man, you know?
Yeah.
You know, Are we teachable today? Really? Who's teaching? I'm telling you, man, it falls in our hands, people. And if you're, there's a lot of dignity parents out there that are good and righteous. Give yourself a little extra, man. Go to your local community. I remember they had the Boys and Girls Club. It could be big brother, big sister. There's a lot of things to get involved in. Trust me, man. I've been like looking at those things at myself, participating, getting involved. I'm always in the streets. I'm always in the community. You know, I got a couple of my homeboys, you know, in the church. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, they left, but at least they know that, hey, I offered. It's an offering, bro. What are we offering our kids today? What are we offering? Not just the kids, the younger generation, the elderly generation, those who are on drugs, those who are in foster cares. You know, don't let the government get a hold of them. Don't let YouTube get a hold of them. That's for damn sure.
And another thing is too, I think we need to speak on this, like you said again, accountability and people being able to be teachable, and people, older homies, being able to teach the youth, because a lot of stuff that's going on too is we have to pay attention, and we can't. I spoke on accountability because I see a lot of stuff, especially with the internet. Everything is turned up times 10. So people have videos out there of people doing stuff that's not appropriate, whether how they're doing it, who they're doing it to, you know what I mean? But things of that nature could be taken and made issues. So I think people need to be held accountable. If you see somebody that's doing something that's not right, you know, whether it be robbing somebody, you know, picking on somebody, beating up somebody, with the vendor, the food vendor thing, whatever that is, man, make people be accountable. You see somebody doing some shit that ain't right, stand and make them be accountable for that. Don't let, you know, because a lot of this shit is going on too, where it takes a whole different world when someone does some foul shit and no one probably likes what they did, but it's put on their own blast, and now it's or maybe it becomes a racial thing. You know what I mean? It's people don't take the time to fully see what's going on, and people need to be held accountable. I see somebody doing some foul shit, I'm gonna approach them. Instead of me record, or I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna record someone knowing they're doing some bullshit and just record it and then post it. You know what I mean? Like, nah, we gotta stop that stupid stuff. You know what I mean? Before you record someone to help someone,
Escalate.
you know what I mean? Step in and do the right thing, or if not, don't do anything. But don't be the person recording someone. You know, doing it. It's just too much of that bullshit too. Excuse my language, but
Right.
accountability. Period. People need to be held accountable. Don't make someone else be the cause of one dumb person's bullshit be the cause of a whole uproar of some stuff, and that's kind of what happens to this day, and that's always been a problem. Going back to why homies and neighborhoods and all this shit feud, because people are not being held accountable.
Hey, we talked
Period.
about it. That was one of our early videos, man. Accountability. If you haven't seen it, go back, check out that episode, man. You know, go back and check out the accountability and use that platform. Maybe you could learn something from it. Don't take it any. If you take what you need and run with the rest, you know. One thing that I'm gonna go a little bit off topic because it was kind of brought up today. I seen it earlier. And I want to know your opinion about it. I don't know if you have seen this, because since we're talking about social media and we're talking about, you know, are we teachable today, Pops?
Right.
I saw this Tyga video. I don't know if
you know. I already know where you're going with that because I've seen all the backlash and everything. I have yet to see the video, just because. For me, first of all, I'm not even really a fan of Tyga. All these dudes with all these shenanigans, like the last video they had.
Yeah, Pops, hold on. Before you go any further, and the reason why I'm bringing it up, because I want people to understand that we are taking accountability.
Right.
That, you know what I mean? That black and brown, we can coexist, and that we do get along. And that, you know, if you always want to see us on the street and hold hands and hug each other and kiss, you ain't going to see it that far. But I'll tell you what, you will see coexisting. And this is the kind of crap that we're talking about. I know a couple other channels were talking about it earlier, but it's not on every basement. You know what I mean? It's not on every street, and it's not every African American, brown, you know, white person. It's not on everybody's narrative. You know, everybody thinks the same. Now you got to look at and understand this. People want it for clout, money, fame, and that's what it is. But on this channel and on my channel, you know, Big D Keeping It Real, you know, we don't post that kind of crap here. You know, I mean, I'm speaking for myself, and I'm pretty sure my homeboy next to me, he could speak for his.
Yeah. That's why I say I didn't even watch that. Once I seen the backlash, but I didn't even, you know what I mean? So already know, the people have spoken. You know what I mean? So it's some bull crap. It is. I don't know who's advising these dudes. That's what I say again. The lack of them not knowing what the call accountability. So he needs to be like I said again, I haven't even seen the video. I don't even care to see it. But he needs to be held accountable. You know what I mean? And if it takes for the people to put him on blast, for the shit they doing, even before that, him and YG made some other video where they dressed as women. I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's like, man, you got to be held accountable, man. No one is above the program. You know what I mean? I don't know what you think, you know what I mean? Because you're a star, celebrity, or you can just do whatever you want to do. And that's the problem now. These youngsters, celebrity or not, they're entitled and they think they can do whatever they want to do because they got the bag. You know what
money,
I mean?
That's what it is. And they think that they think they could degrade not just brown or white. You know what I mean? There's a lot of degrading in in their own community as well. Even in our community.
Well, who is the like you said again? Who are they teachable? Somebody should have already advised them that not even to do this shit. You know what I mean? Period.
Yep. Yep. And like I said, man, that's why, my wife said that's why you got to have character, man. Where does character come from, bro? You know what I mean? You got to be teachable, man. You know what I mean? These, like you said,
you got to be teachable.
They're just
a lot of these dudes aren't teachable.
They're just worried about tell them. Just worried about the band, like you said, bro. And you know me, Pop, since the beginning, like I said, man, you know what I mean? It's not about the money, the fame, man. I don't care. Even if we had the feria, man, it's not going to change.
You gotta love this shit. I told a homie that the other day. I said, man, it ain't about no money. You gotta love, you gotta want to do this, man, and want to do whatever you're doing, man. You know what I mean? If not.
And if I can't pause, like I said, man, I show you a lot of love and respect, bro. A lot of shout out because not all my African people, especially you, bro, that are that type of narrative, man. You keep it solid, you keep it real. You know what I'm saying? You keep it 100.
That's the only way I know how, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That kind of
like I tell people how I was raised. That's why I'm blessed to be raised how I was. I love that I was raised how I was, bro. So I was able to get everything, man. And take it off, so I can't be faded, man. When it comes to this life, man, it's like no one can. You know what I mean? I can blend. I can get on with everyone, bro. You know what I mean? Because this is where I was raised, man. So I have a bigger perspective on a lot of this stuff. I'm not narrow-minded or none of that, homie. And I call it how it is. You know what I mean?
Teachable, homie. You're teachable.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, we're teachable and we're reachable, man. I ain't saying I know everything because I don't.
Nah, we don't.
No, I
We're
don't.
only human, homie. We're only human. We're only human
every day. But but when we do know, call it what it is, man. Take a stand, man. I'll stand and dance with G-Lew all day, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm in disrespect. Hey, we're gonna show you some love. You want to take it a little further, then hey,
that part.
We'll show you some more love.
Right, that part. We can have a friendly fade, like they say. It's all good.
No, we're not into the violence or the disparity or the separation or the division. That's all. You haven't been taught enough. Then you're not willing to learn. You're not paying attention. You're not being student of the game. You know what I'm saying? That only goes. You're just. That's
what I really like. This. I know it's about whatever the title is, teachable, but that student of the game stuck out. See, you got to be a student of the game, man. I love that. That really took precedence in this episode tonight. It's about being teachable. You know what I mean? But you got to be a student of the game.
Yeah. Hey, Pops, you already knew I got it. In order to be a teachable, you got to be a student, homie.
You got to be a student first.
And that's it. And we're all learning.
Yeah.
Society's still learning how to coexist. It's pretty sad. Like I said, we're talking about that. We're talking about the Animal Kingdom. They know what they're standing for. They got their lions. They got their zebras. They got.
Hey, that's some cold stuff. But look, man, I don't even want to go there. That's a different episode. But I've been watching a lot of that, bro, and it's like, that gives me a different perspective, man.
They're students of the game, bro. You know what I'm saying? Oh and us, you know what I mean? And I remember going back to school when I was young. They used to put those shows on. Remember?
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember. They should show those National Geographic.
Yeah, definitely.
Show them coexisting and how the Animal Kingdom was going, and they just don't show that type of crap anymore, bro. My daughter says they don't even teach math the way they used to, bro. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. They're trying to give you freaking, you know what I mean, like a geometry at freaking 10 years old, which I'm not saying is bad. but not every kid's gonna get it. So
Yeah.
are they teachable? They got to take.
That's the thing too. They need to know how to separate that, and I don't think that's been done yet, and even with schools. And I think that's a big problem. You got to know how to separate. Everyone is not going to take in this new,
real quick.
you know, like you said, when you go from math and regular to now geometry and all of these algebra, all this stuff. Everyone's not going to take it in the same way everyone else is. So you got to know how to separate that with certain kids, but they don't do that. They just keep on going with the program, and this person here just either passes and this one fails, and it's just what it is.
And that's where education falls in, man. You know what I mean? Are you teachable or you're not? It's not to say that it's not to say that the kids are not willing to learn. Is that the teachers have, you know what I mean? Are they willing to have the patience, you know, and the love and the support to teach the next generation? Because it's their responsibility too, because they're getting paid. Us as parents, we don't get paid, man. Let me tell you something, you know.
And they got to know how to reach out. That's another thing. Those teachers don't know, maybe know how to reach out, or if they know they have a kid that's having problems in this class and he's behind, do they know how to reach out or maybe try to help that kid, or just let him just fail?
Yeah, you know, my wife said it right now. What'd you say, babe? You got to be creative because every kid's different, baby. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm. That part exactly, man. Monica. Every kid is different, so they have to know how to separate that. But I don't think that's been figured out yet. That's why we used to have no. You know what, Deke? That's why we used to have stuff. I know in elementary, teachers' aides. Remember, but they had like the extra teacher. Remember on the side, they had the regular teacher and they had the teacher's aide that could go over here and help the extra kids and do extra stuff. They don't have that no more, bro.
That's why a lot of times we could learn from the past, man, because the past teaches us, bro, how to live, to be a student. You know what I mean? That you got all these, you know, our forefathers, man. They learned from Jesus Christ, all the way to the present, bro. You know what I'm saying? And things are just changing a little bit too much, man. They want you to follow one way or another, whether you get it or you don't. And that's the sad part.
And that's it. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's either you get it or you don't. And you may have a good percentage of the class who gets it, but you may have a small percentage, and like you say, they just let them do whatever and just fail, you know, instead of helping them and seeing them, because they're just not receiving it the same way. And the kid is not going to tell you that because they may be embarrassed. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Kids are, bro. My daughter was like that. They're embarrassed to raise their hand and ask for help. What was wrong with asking for help?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's going to be next week's topic, ladies and gentlemen, asking for help.
Asking for help. That's a good one, bro. That's a good one. That's a good one. Because you know what, Big D? Because that is a big problem with us, especially in our communities. People definitely do not regularly ask for help because it's not looked upon. You know what I mean? Even me, I'm to this. You don't want to ask really anyone for help, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, and we're kind of made to. It wasn't always this way, but we're kind of made to be this way now because people are let down a lot. You know, whether it be from the person you think that can help you, or you helping a person and they let you down in return. Right. That happens too. So now people don't want to be involved either way.
I'm telling you, man. That, I mean, like you said, I remember another episode we're talking about, man. Like NWA says it better, man. We can't. We were not even. I was raised not to even talk to a cop, trust the police department.
None of that,
man. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even want to talk to you.
You know, that's the way our community was raised, man. You know what I mean? If you talk to the cops, you snitch. You know what I'm saying? Straight out. You know what I mean? You know, and cops, you know, they're not.
That's kind of sad though, because really now we need like good cop, like people that could be cops. You know what I mean? But we're programmed to hate them so much that it's turned against us to where you hate them, and now they're your main enemy when it needs to be more people in there, because really the whole issue is not really the cops. It's just how they treat us and the things we see. You know what I mean? It's not them per se, because come on, everyone got to be real.
But see,
I don't care how much you hate cops, you know we still need them.
Right. But see, a lot of things goes back. They should have programs to teach the cops how to deal with the community.
They don't do that. That's what I'm saying. They don't do that. No.
Let's talk about it.
And how to deal with the community they're going in, because you can get a cop that has no involvement, never even been or knows anything about this community they're going in. But this is where they get placed at when they come in, and like you said, they already got the S on their chest. You feel me? So they coming in with the shenanigans, with the bullshit. You feel me? And this is a community you know nothing about.
Know nothing, and we're all humans, and then they can't figure it out. They can't figure it out that it doesn't take a mathematician to know that this guy has problems, man. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't, you know. But since they were taught to be a certain way to deal with certain individuals. They think all individuals are certain criminals, and it's not, bro.
Right, it's not. Yeah.
You know, it's not. They're not teaching.
Facts.
They're not teaching. They're not
Facts.
teaching. You know, and that's why I say, teach. Is society? Are we teachable today?
And
You
the
know?
homie House said, always ask questions. There is no such thing as a dumb question, man. And see that's the thing too. Even you know, people are afraid to sometimes raise their hand, and not only raise their hand, but as even grown men, maybe ask someone, "Oh, what do you think about that? What's because you don't want to be looked at as oh damn." But hey, man, you're never too old. Like what they say, you're never too old to teach a dog new tricks. Never, man.
Never, man.
Never.
You know?
The day you stop learning is the day you kind of, I don't know.
The day you start learning, like my wife said, you stop living, bro.
Yeah, that part. Yeah, I don't want to be that specific, but pretty much.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So that's why I honestly threw that. Like I kind of threw it like a riddle. Is today's society teachable? But in all honesty, you know what the title really is? Are we students of the game?
Are we students of the game, my boy?
Students? That's what what it's really all about. Are we students that are willing to learn and willing to change the narrative and really to make a step, not to play games, you know what I mean, but to be in the game, you know what I mean, to help the generation, the one that's going forward, to teach those that are, that are fatherless and that are motherless, that don't have even parents, man, you know what I mean, that we can identify that psychologically they have problems and they're mentally distraught. Right away, we want to turn our head the other way, knowing that the problem's right in front of our face, man. I ain't saying that we're bad parents, but be accountable. Like we were talking earlier, go back to the episode, accountability, man. Make sure we see what your kids are doing.
That was a good one.
Grandkids, your cousins, your nephews, you know what I mean? We just like the animal kingdom surrounds and takes care of theirs. We got to take care of ours too, man. That's what they do. You just straight up, like G-Lew said, he watches it, I watch. You might learn something. Go back to the National Geographic. It might teach you something, baby.
For real. That's a different, man. That gave me a whole different perspective, man. I'm like, look, that's what all I've been really watching. Really, real talk, bro. You know what I mean? That king, that man.
You don't think
it's serious over there, man?
Yeah, you know why? Because it's all about for food, man. They're in the food.
There it is, and that's what I learned, because some of it is real brutal, but at the end of the day, you can't. It's like it's not personal.
Yeah.
It's like they say it's business is not personal. I gotta eat, man. I have to have so much food, and I have youngsters that have a whole clan over here. We have to have so much food a day. It's not personal, man. I had to look at it like that, because some of that stuff is like, whoo.
But what are we, man? What are we killing for, man? Why are we hating?
Right.
You know what I mean? If anything, God made us over the animal kingdom.
That's why we're different species. That's why we were made the way we were. Everything is for a purpose. And I said that too. If you know better, you got to do better.
Exactly.
We have to start taking a stance and being held accountable for ourselves, and saying, like the homie just said right there, if we know better, we have to do better. We can no longer know something and still do the opposite of something that we know we're supposed to be doing or not doing, and still turn around and do it. That's when you always get bit the hardest. That's when you real.
We talked about it last week or a couple weeks. Expect the unexpected, man.
Expect
the unexpected.
That part. Expect the unexpected.
On and on.
West Coast.
Our expectations. Our expectations.
Preach.
Like I said, I didn't go to school for psychology. I went to school for streetology, man.
Come on now, preach.
And honestly, one head is good, but two heads are better, man.
That part.
That's where we coexist.
That part.
That's why we need each other, man. That's why I love all these other panels, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why I appreciate and respect these other panels, and they put their platforms they put me in on. West Carson TV, Credible Javier, you know what I mean? MOD Entertainment, LA Times, you know what I mean? Streets Ain't Loyal, you know what I'm saying? All
Sunny
these
boy,
there, and that's how we coexist, man. Sometimes we could agree to disagree, you know what I'm saying? But we all learn from one another, man. I'm approachable. I'm teachable. I'm a student of the game. I don't know it all. But hey, we learn from one another, man. Like I said, two heads are better than one, right? When we go into the fight, we fight together, man. It's not about color. It's not about, you know what I mean, racial and everything else. It's about us, period, as a society. You know, we all bleed the same, man. You know, we all have feelings. You know what I mean? And there's a society that's out there, man, that's hurting and it's lost. To be honest with you, I was lost. You know, besides God helping me and finding me, you know what I mean? I was able to rehabilitate myself, and find, you know what I mean, my common sense, man, and remembered. I went back how my grandparents taught me, man. And even then, my grandparents got divorced 30 years later.
Right.
You know, but they parted a seed in me, man, and say, hey, you know what? Just because that guy's color's different, he's not bad, you know? Just because, you know, he comes from a different country, that's not bad. Different state, you know? The other side of the block, you know? You know what's crazy, bro? Is that, you know what I mean? Being a gang member, you probably could testify to this, Pops. You know, we're going across the street, man, looking for the same guy who's bald-headed, has his cat.
Looking the same way as you, yes. Yeah.
Same way
that's what you look for.
Man, you know?
You can pass 20 other people that look different, but you're gonna pass them. You're gonna look for that dude that looks just like you,
dude,
who fits the description.
Crazy, bro.
Who fits the description, and really, that's the same thing the cops used to look for too. So when we used to be like, "Damn, why they jamming this?" They're looking for you. That's what they're looking for. Dude, you know what I mean? So we're all looking for the same person, bro.
We're all looking for, and you know, and that's what I was taught, homie. You know what I mean? Hey, I was taught, you know what I mean? It's just like, you know what I mean? Hey, in today's, teach me so I can know the other Vato's lifestyle, man. You know what I mean? Well, guess what? It's the same crap, eh? You know, it's just
your enemy is doing the same thing you doing. Most of 85% of the time, the enemy do the same thing you do. Same thing. Bro.
Hey, but you know what? Let's talk about it, man. The government, you know what I mean? The city, the county, they need probation officers. They need sheriffs. They need cops. Yeah. They need money. Yeah. So they need criminals.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Everything, really, all of it goes hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
It's been going that way, and it's going to be just stay that way. So, like you said, all of it is needed. Okay. But the thing that is the problem is the corruption, and that comes from all angles, because I think just the society and the life we live, regardless of how it goes, it's going to come back that way in some form or fashion, even if it's a percentage of it. That's just the way it is, because that's just what the foundation is built on. Let's be real. You know what I mean? This country was built on you know, wickedness, homie. So, you know, even you can sprinkle all the little other good stuff in there and all that, but it's still what it is. So it seems like that's always going to be. But again, it just comes down to the fact that if you know better, you have to do better. And, you know, Big B, what do you think people can take from this? Take again where they can start with themselves.
We said it earlier, man. Accountability, man. You know, us people, you know what I mean, us parents, us that have, you know what I mean, as adults, tell you the truth, man, you know, is we need to be accountable for, you know what I mean, our communities.
That part.
You know, straight out, man. Whether you have a rap song about it, whether you're
or even yourself. Start with yourself.
Whether you're a teacher,
if you be accountable for yourself, you can lead better. You can't try to lead people and you're not even being holding yourself accountable for stuff you know you need to be holding yourself accountable for.
Be accountable, man. You know what I mean? Because, you know, that's what we need. Our next generation need people who are accountable, man. You know, and a lot of censorship. You know what I mean? I have a young teenager, man, upstairs, man. You know, and I've been mentoring him. He's not my kid. You know what I mean? My wife could testify, man. And now from 2 years ago, bro. Yeah, you know, I don't know where his father figured. I don't know his story. 2 years from now, I know him for like 5 years, like 4 years, man. You know where he's at right now? He has a car. He has a job, straight A's. Wow. You know what I'm saying? He's not my kid. That's real tough. My wife. You know, that's what starts at. I can't reach everybody myself, man. But if I have you, Pops, on my side, and everybody else, you know what I mean, agreeing to what we're doing, that's how we're reachable. You know what I'm saying? That's how we get the platform. You know, that's why we use this YouTube. We don't use it for likes and, you know what I mean, subscriptions or anything like that. We're not here to entertain you, man. Aren't you not entertained? Aren't you not, like Gladiator says, aren't you not entertained already?
You got all these entertained? No, we're not here for that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're not here for that, man. You know, we're not here for that. You know what I mean? We're here to keep it. Let's talk about it and keep it real, man. Straight to the point. That's it, man. That's all I got to say on that.
Yes, sir. Big D, keeping it real, man.
You know,
Check it out, people.
I like how Denise said this right here. You
Be
know,
a
that
responsible parent. That way,
yeah,
our kids will know how to act. That part. There you go. Lead by example.
yes,
That it starts. That's what always. It's that easy. Lead by example. You can't
yeah.
be this
Shout
way
out
and
to
think
Denise and her
nobody's
husband.
looking and watching. You know what I mean?
Happy
Lead by
birthday,
example.
Denise. She's a
Yeah.
homegirl right
Happy
now.
birthday.
She
The
said
big
another
5-0.
big 5-0. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, you ladies got to listen to Denise. You ladies got to listen to my wife. You ladies got to listen to the Jen Maganas and out there too. It's not
That
just
part.
us
Shout out to
men.
Jen.
You know, it's all you women that are out there too. You know, you guys keep and let me tell you something, man. Women, they've been holding the fort, bro.
Oh yes, most definitely,
You know,
bro.
us men,
I'm never gonna.
we gotta get our
Yeah.
shit together, bro.
For sure.
And me, including myself.
For
You know,
sure.
I speak for
For sure.
myself.
We all do.
You know, yeah, I speak for myself, man. But even Denise said up here, it says it's sad that kids nowadays who does the dumbest crap that are pulling out your phone instead of helping.
Yeah.
Pops just said it earlier. You know what I mean? If you see something, say something, man.
Yeah, that part. If not, just go ahead and don't even just tuck your tail all the way. But don't be the one that just records shit anonymously and putting out videos on people and you weren't there to do anything about it. You know what I mean? Whether it right or wrong, yay or nay, were you against it or for it, you didn't do anything but record. Nah, knock it off.
Right, knock that off, man. Because if it happens to you, guess what? What you reap is what you sow, baby. Karma.
That part.
Because I'll be taking a picture of you too, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's just you got to learn too. Everything is just like they have video cameras everywhere. It's video cameras everywhere, literally in the sky. Like everything is a receipt for everything. God sees everything, man. So it's like, don't think, you know what I mean?
God
don't think.
sees everything, man.
You know what I mean? So
don't lie to
yourself. Leave it there.
I did it for many years. I lied to myself, and I'm still learning, man.
Me too, bro.
It
took so many years for me to just sit back and say, look, all this time it was plain as day, homie. You can't get over, you can't beat the system, like they say. You know what I'm saying? You can't.
You cannot be the system.
No matter how slick you think you are and all this, and we all were there at one time. Nah, we could do this and do that. No, you cannot beat the system, bro. I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah, man. And that pretty much sums it up, man. You know what I'm saying? And heavy topic, man, you know. But like I said, it was more like a riddle. It's not if we're teachable today in today's lifestyle. No, in all honesty, are we students of today's lifestyle? Right. You know, don't you understand that even us old folks, we have to adjust to today's society, technology, and everything else. But one thing that never changes that we all have a mind and we all have a heart and we all have a soul. You know, so and a will. You know what I mean? So, you know, my advice, man, to anybody, share this video, teach the younger generation. We had a episode called "It's All About Choices." I mean, come on, man. You know, we talk about it, we hear it in rap songs, but are we applying it to our lives, man? I can only do it for me, and I hope it really touches your guys' heart, man, and your soul, man. You know, and like I said, I never went to school for. I'm not no mentor or, you know what I mean, psychologist, but call me what you are, man, you know, because I know in my heart I'm just trying to send the message, man, the positive, man. You know, what was that song by who? The message, right? Don't push me because I'm close to the edge, man. Yeah. I'm trying not to lose my own head. You know what I'm saying? My own. But as I look for you and you look out for me, I respect you, respect me. And that's how we learn and that's how we gain, man. It's okay to correct people and tell them, hey, what you're doing is wrong. But, you know, come in loving with compassion. You know what I'm saying? Generosity comes a long way, man. You know?
Yeah. Sad House of Tattoos. But yeah, but everyone tonight, I hope you were able to take something, you know, positive or just something, anything from this conversation or what we talked about tonight. That's the whole purpose of the situation and the get down is for us to discuss topics, you know, within our own community and with our own people, man, that need to be addressed, and maybe we can speak on it and you know, just brainstorm the issue and get some type of if not resolution, just some type of way that we could
understand.
Yeah, that part. Understanding. You know what I mean? What I need from you is understanding.
Hey, Pops, I saw you last night, bro. You were getting down, baby. They shut us down, man.
They shut us down, man. It was too much. Man, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm glad though you mentioned that. I love that, man. I love that, bro, because that's what I love the most. Oldie, it's good music, and vibes, bro. So
Hey,
I enjoy that Sunday, man, so much, man. So shout out to everyone, man, who's involved. Thank you, Big D. I really
appreciate you
enjoy
guys,
that
man.
though. And
Well,
tonight
yeah,
episode, we just getting better, man. Over here, this is number 14. We'll be back for number 15, but see, this is what we do right here, and we just thank you all for being involved. You know what I mean? Because it takes a village to raise a kid. You know what I mean? Anyone, and it takes a community to get things done. So this is what we
yeah.
want to bring to you all. Let's
And I want
talk
to,
about it. Big
and I
D,
want to
G-Lew.
encourage you. Yeah, I want to encourage you guys. Like I said, make sure you guys share the algorithm, man. You know, make sure you guys share. Like I said, we're not TikToking over here. You know, I mean, we're not doing. We're trying to do is just shed a little light from our experiences, man. And you guys are welcome. We had a phone line open. You guys could have called. I encourage you guys to participate, man. And like I said, I appreciate you guys. You know what I mean? All you guys who come and support, man. And you know, we don't know it all, but you know what I mean? When two heads are better than one, and that's what we're trying to do over here, man. You know, we don't got time for other BS stuff, but we respect everything else that you guys do, man. You know, we're human beings. We were young once a long time ago, and you know, we grew up, and some of us grew up in the same era and the same time. And let's get that generation, man. Let's rock them and knock them and teach them the values that they should be. You know, I'm trying to teach my daughter, man. That's all I could do. You know, I don't have a problem, you know what I mean, going out and being a big brother to anybody else, man. Nothing but love and respect.
That part right there, man. And everything he said, I approve this message, man. It's G-Lew, Big D. Let's talk about it. Number 14. Go back. If you miss anything, go back, check it out. Like, share, subscribe. You know, share the page, share this episode. If anything you like, share it. Let people know. Check it out. Indulge. Check us out. Come back. Interact with us, because this is what we do it for. It's a community-based podcast right here, man.
This is how we get down on a Monday night, baby. All you guys are watching that Monday Night Raw. This is the G-Lew Raw right here, baby.
You know? Right there. Everyone out there, have a great week. Have a blessed week, man. Remember, 7 days without prayer makes 1 week. WEAK. I am G-Lew. That's Big D. Take us out of here, Big D. We out.
Appreciate you guys, man. Let you respect. I'm praying for you guys. Love you guys, man. Let's keep it together. Let's keep rocking. And you know what I mean? I'll see you guys soon, man. Like they say, you guys are welcome to my channel. Swing by, check it out. I'm still learning myself. You know, Big D keeping it real, and we'll keep it real, and we'll keep it popping.
That part right there. Shout out to everyone who joined us, tuned in tonight. Happy birthday again, Denise. Shout out to Queen Jean, our producer, DD. Shout out to Monica and everyone involved. We out here.
I already checked in. You know how they say, it's time for me to check out.
Peace and love. We out here, y'all. Have a great week.